We're going to talk today about gratitude within your finances. Couple things that make a big difference for myself, for my clients, those things. Of course, it's Thanksgiving week if you're watching this live for us here in the United States. So, perfect timing, but we do want to create a lifestyle of gratitude. So, regardless of when you're hearing this, watching this, it's perfect timing for you. So, let's get into it. Welcome back to the Your Money, Your Life podcast. I'm your host, Amy Circa. We are talking about gratitude when it comes to your finances and how gratitude plays a role in your financial life. This year has been a lot for me. There's been a lot going on. There's been a lot of stress and uncertainty and so much dysregulation and things and trauma healing, all of those things that we're working through. And if you don't know what's been going on and you want to talk, just shoot me a message on Instagram. I am happy to chat with friends. You know that? But the thing that gratitude does is it helps keep you grounded. So when anxiety and stress and struggle and all of those things come up, you're feeling the pressure. If you can take that step back to ground yourself into gratitude and see where you're at. There is I think they would call it a somatic practice, but when something happens and, you feel that energy building, it's intense, it's overwhelming, it's coming up, take a second, just stop, take a deep breath, exhale, look around you and find 5 things that you can be thankful for. When you do these things, when we can shift energy and focus on the gratitude, focus on what we have and the blessings that we have now, then we're able to change so much. So I know seeing relatives isn't always easy. Maybe you have loved ones that aren't going to be with you this year for the holidays. I am not negating the fact that this can be hard. This can be a hard season for many. We can talk about seasonal depression, so many other, there's so many things that could be going on. And again, that I hold that space for you and understand there is hard things that we go through in life. That when we can work on some of these practices to help make it just a little bit easier, it's so game-changing, so life-changing. I was catching up with a friend probably a week or so ago, and we hadn't talked in a while, and, craziness that my life's been, it was okay, hey, here's what's happened in the last month. And we talked about, kind of felt like it was just I don't know, word vomit, for lack of a better word. It's blah, all these things have happened. This is what's all been going on. She's like, oh my gosh, Amy, I had no idea. Because that's not how you present yourself. That's not how you show up. And I've always been one that I kind of feel like I've shared more. But again, it goes back to the gratitude for the moment. So when I have those tough moments where things are hard and I'm having those breakdowns and I can do that and have that space there by myself, I can process that. I can release those emotions and then show up with the gratitude and the thankfulness with where I'm at. And it kind of goes back to what we've talked about the last couple of weeks, with the trust in yourself as well, but just really tactically, gratitude. Some practical ways that I make sure that I'm incorporating gratitude and that I talk to my clients. If it's something that you're struggling with, bring out the gratitude list. Write down 10 things, handwrite, because it crosses. Wow. Okay. Apparently I need to stop recording. Crosses the brain barrier there to both sides of your brain. It's another way that it's cemented in. Handwrite 10 things that you're grateful for each day. I've done this where I've printed out a sheet of paper that I've created. It's a Canva template. And it's I write out 10 things that I'm thankful for each day. I've done it that way. I've done it in my journal. So many different ways you can do it, but it's so much more powerful when you handwrite. So if you're really struggling, write things down. You can be thankful for having a roof over your head. You can be thankful that you're alive. It doesn't have to be those are important things, right? They're core needs. You can be thankful that you have a pillow. It doesn't have to be big things. It's shifting the energy to focus on the gratitude for what you do have. Another thing that we do is journaling. So reflective journaling, at the end of the day, talking about the thankfulness. I've even added something in with Execution Lab for us to reflect on and be grateful and celebrate. We're going to get to that in a second. The ones that you had the previous month, I have things that like I'm writing down on my calendar that I'm grateful for. And some like those practices, again, it's just being intentional with it. We did a pumpkin because the kids carved their pumpkins this year, but mine was not carved. So I started writing on the pumpkin, and everybody had to give me something that they're thankful for every day that we do it. So we go through the list, and they can't repeat items for our thankful pumpkin. So that was been a lot of fun too. And it's a little bit of a challenge as you get further into the month. Like, okay, can I come up with something that I haven't been thankful for yet? You can be thankful for lessons that you've learned. You can be thankful for relationships that have ended. You can be thankful for when you did have relationships. Maybe you're going through a breakup or a heartache or something and it's hard. And like you can miss that person, but be thankful for the time that you have. I think that's most of my notes. We talked about shifting energy with gratitude. It helps you feel more empowered. You're in control. This actually does, I haven't talked about this part. When you can shift energy like that and shift into a state of gratitude instead of the pressure and the stress and the struggle and the frustration, especially when it comes to your business, you can unlock the creative side. Because how many times have you sat down to record a podcast episode that you just have to get done because you're on a deadline, or write this email because you have to do it and you're just not in the space? If you sit there and take 5 minutes to shift into that space of gratitude, I always say like have a YouTube playlist, have a training that you can listen to, like start. You don't want to be hearing your own thoughts, essentially, is what it boils down to. Like have positive information coming to you somehow, and it helps shift that energy, shift that vibration, raise where you're at, so then you can show up in a more aligned space. Joy in the, okay. Specifically with your finances, finding things to be grateful for. Oftentimes, we'll set goals and we achieve them, and then we set the next goal without ever celebrating the fact that we've achieved it, or it just becomes like, oh, it's not a big deal. I found goal sheets from 12 years ago that talked about having a new pillow because I didn't have like a pillow that was like fluffy. It was really worn out, and I wanted a new pillow, and it wasn't something that I felt like I could get myself at the time. So little things like that, like we don't want to discount how far we've come. So especially if you're feeling that stress, struggle, frustration, pressure, any of those things, when it comes to your finances and your financial progress, I want you to look at how far you've actually come, the things that you have accomplished. Have you actually put money into savings? Have you actually bought the thing that you wanted to do? Maybe you put the kid in the extracurricular activity that you've wanted to. Maybe you took the vacation. Maybe you have another child that you're supporting. All of these things factor in, and we're not even talking about inflation or any of those things that have made it more challenging. You were still able to achieve what you achieved. It's a big deal. So make sure that you're celebrating that and that you're grateful for that. So it's like two parts here. Grateful for what you have, but also when we get into that mindset of celebrating the things that we've accomplished, not out of like a braggy spot, which, you know, if you're worried about bragging, you're typically not the person that needs to be worried about bragging, because, you know, the braggy person isn't worried if they're bragging. Just saying. Okay. But shifting into that energy celebration, I would love to hear from you. Can you share with me 3 things that you're grateful for, specifically when it comes to your finances, your online business, maybe something you've experienced here in the podcast, being in my world, whatever it might be. I want to hear from you. I want to celebrate with you 3 things that you're thankful for. Share it with me on Instagram at Amy Circa. Send it to me in a DM, tag me, whatever you want to do. And there, I just want to see it. So that's it for now. If you're celebrating the holidays, listening to this live, have a wonderful time. Listen to the last week's episode with the FOMO as you get ready for all the Black Friday sales. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. Are you tired of not seeing consistent cash flow? What if you could stop wasting countless hours working on the wrong things only to leave yourself more frustrated than you started? All without jumping from strategy to strategy just to try to find one that works, and without requiring a week of reflection or a time audit because you don't have time to do the things that you need to as it is. My cash flow calculator might be perfect for you. This assessment style calculator reveals your blind spots and what you're missing so that you can finally see consistent cash flow month after month. So grab my cash flow calculator absolutely free and unlock the right work that you're probably already doing in order to finally see consistent cash flow month after month. It's only going to take 90 seconds and you don't need to know any of your numbers to actually do this. Then, as a bonus, there's a special way you can get me to give you feedback on your results. Simply go to amycirca.com/cashflow to access, and of course, that link is hanging out in the description for you.